yo, it's your boy Nunn. We got hiphopisreal.com, URL TV. You already know we got Beasley in the building.
What's up? What's up? What's up, Knowledge? What's going on?
So Bees, man, you know, Born Like a C3, man. Like I said, it's one of the biggest promoted events of the year so far, man. I know you got to be proud of your team, proud of the new guys on the roster. Just to see them going back and forth, creating little things on Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah, I'm extremely happy with the way that we've been progressing this year. You know what I mean? I want to shout out my boys Ike, my boys P, Thesis, everybody that's been helping with the movement. I hope I didn't forget anybody, you know what I mean? But those guys have really been dedicating a lot of their time into, you know, helping with the marketing and the promotion of our events. You know, a lot of this stuff was already set in stone before we had the little setback, you know, with the unfortunate incident that took place at Urban Plaza. But, you know, we're supposed to already be on Born Legacy 4. But, you know, hey, God works in mysterious ways, and, you know, maybe we needed the additional promotion to give some of these new guys a little bit more support. And I think that right now the anticipation for the event is at an all-time high. So in actuality, the prolonging of the event actually taking place has kind of helped build a certain hysteria and momentum for people to want to come out and support and see this event. So I'm happy with the way that things are going. You know, I'm happy with a lot of the ways that the new guys are coming in and showing up. You know, shout out to Prez and T-Top. They've been showing up. They're kind of like, I would say, the newest guys to kind of enter that top tier realm to be thought of. You know what I mean? They still have more work to do. Yeah, I said it. Prez and T-Top, y'all got more work to do. But you know, they've done a superb job, man. I think we've given them a great platform, and they've provided us with a great level of talent. And I think we've worked hand in hand to create and build their profiles, and they've helped extend our reach and show that URL can create new stars, you know what I mean, and put guys in place. So salute to them for the work that they've been putting in lately. I'm really proud of the way that they've been showing up.
Nah, that's a fact. Prez and T-Top, they two of the new guys that has basically come in the game and battled a lot of the top tier dudes, and not only survived but showed out.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of other new guys too, man. I mean, I don't want to leave anybody out. I like what Av is doing. I like what Mike P brings to the game. I like what Tink the Demon brings to the game. Shouts to St. Mike. You know what I mean? You got a lot of guys coming back, you know. I'm glad to see Ill Will back on the squad. You know what I'm saying? I like, you know, I'm just happy, man. I'm really happy with the way things are going. I'm excited about Born Legacy 3 and how the event will turn out. You know, I think that the event gives you a little bit of everything. You get guys in different, you know, I guess you want to call it tiers or profile levels, from solidified veterans to established guys to new guys.
You got Mr. Wavy versus Yung Ill.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Ill is not playing, man. You know what I'm saying? Ill is one of the originators of URL family. He's one of the stones that help hold up the foundation. So shout out to Yung Ill. I'm glad to have my brother back on the squad. He's focused and he's prepared. He's ready. He's real serious about what he's doing, and he plans to be around for a long time. Shouts to Mr. Wavy. You know, he came in as a PG guy, but he kind of really knew how to market himself, and he just sat down and, you know, took the right battles, and, you know, he's been able to maneuver correctly. So he's somebody else who's learning the game and learning how to maneuver in this game and build a profile and establish a name for himself. So shout to him, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. You know what I mean? And see, you know, if Ill's gonna come back as the old Ill, does Wavy have something new up his sleeve? You know, it'll be interesting, man, but time will tell. Also, the day 2 card, I see you guys added St. Mike versus Tone Montana. Yes.
You know what I'm saying, which is a dope battle. And also, I see you guys added Jerry Wess and Tech 9.
Yes.
What happened?
To the body
why was those added to the card? Like, well, what made, you know?
St. Mike and Tone Montana, believe it or not, have been supposed to have been battling each other forever.
Okay, okay.
Going on for months. I mean, so I anticipate that they'll both be loaded with bars. You know what I mean? They were supposed to battle
Unfinished Business?
Yeah, Unfinished Business. No. What was before Unfinished? It was Double Impact, right?
Did
we have anything? Man, it's been so long, I can't even remember. But these guys have been booked to battle for such a long time. and you know, little things happened that prevented them from battling, right? So they were supposed to battle on Unfinished Business, and then when it got pushed back, then Unfinished Business 2 we rescheduled, and Tone had some issues where he couldn't make it. Now everybody's on target. Everybody is written for one another. So I expect to see an exciting battle between the two of them. You know what I mean? And St. Michael's a guy who's kind of under the radar that people really aren't aware of, but he has a high skill level. So I'm excited to see what he does. People know Tone Montana. We enjoy him. I think he's an asset to URL, and I'm glad that he's coming back on the scene. So shout out to both of those guys. And then the other battle that we had was my man Th3. You know, he went and left URL for a while. But you know, Tech's been gone for a few years, but you know, he was one of the most feared guys in URL.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a time where nobody would take Tech. Nobody. You know what I mean? I couldn't get him a battle because everybody feared what he could do in the room. So I want to see if he's coming back with the folded arms and the head nods.
I seen a URL blog I dropped, man. I seen him carrying the body bag. And
he's not playing, man. He's not playing.
You think Jerry Wess is ready for that type of action?
Jerry Wess is going to be prepared, man. Jerry Wess exudes a certain level of confidence that I haven't seen in a lot of guys. You know what I mean? He's flashy. You know, he's running around. He's driving Benzes and Bentleys and doing his thing. You know what I mean? So shout out to him, man. You got to watch that guy, man. He's on the come up, man. You won't have your girl outside, man. You might, drive up, try to take your girl or something, man. You gotta watch that guy. But he's a talent, and he's somebody that I'm glad to have on the roster. And I think he's a star in the making, and I think that he has a lot to prove, and so does Tech. So when the two of them stand in front of each other, it's gonna be crazy. And I spoke to Tech, and he saw Jerry's blog, and he wasn't happy about it. So he said he's coming, and he's not playing. He's not playing no games. And I hit Jerry back, and Jerry was like, good, I'm glad he didn't like it. I don't like that he didn't like it. I'm not playing no games. So we'll see what happens when they stand on stage in front of each other.
When you get a guy like Th3 who done put a lot of work in, and you done seen his career go from, you know, him being one of the most feared guys and him not battling, and now he's bringing his comeback. Is that a special thing for you to just be like, yo, son, you know, seeing the elevation of these guys?
Yeah, because, you know, it's not even just that, like, there's certain guys in URL that are friends. You know what I mean? So I want to see them do good. You know, this guy, I'm a fan also, so I appreciate, you know, some of their battles. Like to this day, I still watch Th3 versus Awesome. It's hysterical, man. Love it. It's like one of my favorite battles. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to see him come back, and I'm happy to see that he's coming back and he's willing to challenge somebody new. You know what I mean? He's doing something different. You know, a lot of guys come back and they want the biggest, newest guy. You know what I mean? And maybe not the most skilled guy, but a guy with a big profile. But, you know, I think that matches push careers forward. You know what I mean? Nitty has battled some of the biggest names in the culture, but yet his biggest battle to date is against a newcomer in Av. You know what I mean? So it's like, these are ways, like, I mean, of course the Clips battle is going to be high, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, in terms of, like, the average battle that he's taken, that's one of his highest battles, you know what I mean? Now his career has really started.
That's a potential classic of 2016 itself.
His biggest looks have been here, you know what I mean? His career is like, he hit the restart button on his career, you know what I mean? And now he's showing that he has what it takes. So, you know, there's a lot that goes on when these guys come in or they advance or they step up. I'm just happy to see people get on and start, you know, really giving their all and taking it to the next level.
You know, just looking at the game and everything like that, where do you see, like, on a Born Legacy type of situation, do you see the vets able to fight with these young dudes? You know what I'm saying? Do you see these young dudes able to keep up with the vets?
I think this is all about hunger. You know what I'm saying? And who's focused and who takes what seriously. You know what I mean? Like as I said, I think battles push careers forward. You know what I mean? Having a good match with as an even exchange of skill will do so much more for you than you just standing in front of a name that doesn't have replay value. Of course, initially everyone's going to click the button on the first day to watch it, but if the battle sucks, no one's going to watch it again. So, like, for me, man, I'm just into whatever battle's hot. I don't really care about the names, but I still have to supply a certain amount of names because there's certain people who only focus on the names, or 7 or 8 guys that are in the culture that they really like. and they want those guys to face each other, you know what I mean? But I mean, eventually we're running out of matches, so we have to develop and bring in new talent, and we have to do it in aggressive fashion, and that's what we're attempting to do with Born Legacy, and so far it's working. So when, you know, you see a lot of people and I see comments, oh, who's this guy? Oh, why is he on here? What is he doing? You know, this is all by design. We don't care. We're putting out the new names, we're promoting them, we're giving them trailers, we're pushing these guys forward. Now it's up to them to stay in the forefront. And if these guys don't make it, you know what I mean, or, you know, we go a couple of times and they're not making it, you know, then we'll give other people an opportunity. But we have to take an aggressive stance and push the culture forward by always putting new names and new people out in front and building them up slowly so that they can transfer over to the big stage. And then you get a result like a Prez team or a T-Top, guys who were around for a while that really didn't get the push, that now have gotten the push, and now people can see that these guys are truly talented, and they've been able to elevate their profiles and just their overall look to the public and to the consumer and the fans to the next level.
What advice do you have for like the new dudes, like who's coming in the game, they get a URL contract or they messing with URL, they used to battle all the time, doing what they do, they love the sport, but then they get on URL, it's a different standard.
Right.
You know, they can't just go around doing whatever they want to do, they have to, you know what I'm saying, but then they'll get frustrated. Like, ah man, I want to battle, or you know, the dates got pushed back and things like that. What do you say to these new guys that might be a little bit hesitant or feeling some type of way? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like, they gotta all understand everybody gets their time. You know what I'm saying? Patience is a virtue. You know what I mean? And you know, everyone has their time to shine. You know what I mean? You just have to make sure you're ready for your moment. You know, a lot of people talk about URL contracts or what we do or what we're saying. And the thing that people don't understand is people say, oh, that's a slave deal. I see these guys in the comments, oh, that's wrong, that's this, you're holding them back, you know, whining and crying and shit. But people don't understand, like, the majority of the guys that sign the URL contract, I never pay them what's on the contract. I always pay them more, or we always pay them more. And generally, when they sign the contract, they're getting more than what they were getting before they signed to URL. You feel what I'm saying? Our goal as a company is to really just try and establish our own set of people, you know what I mean? So that we don't have to, because it gets boring, you know what I mean? If I'm a league and I have an event and I use 8 guys, and then next week this league uses the same 8 guys, and then a week later before my big event that I promoted the whole summer, it's the same 8 guys, somebody's gonna lose on a performance. Someone's gonna come in not prepared, or you know, the fans are not gonna be excited because there's nothing that they have to look forward to. Whereas opposed if there's some time, or we have our own guys, or you see them only on URL, you can look forward to it. And I think a lot more leagues would have more success within the battle culture if they focused and developed their own people. Like, one league I could point to is John the Don in the bullpen. Now, he may have a few names and he may bring in some veterans to battle some guys, but he has 4 or 5 guys that he's really pushing. You know, he has a guy Riggs. There's a couple, he has a couple of guys that he's pushing. And what's going to happen is you're going to know who they are. You're going to know where they come from. You know what I mean? So he's not just relying on what's existing. He's actually trying to put in work and build his own talent. And that's the key to being successful. You know what I mean? Of course, URL has ball from other places. We have. Everybody has. But the great majority of our guys we got from smaller feeder leagues, and then we brought them here and developed them on another level that nobody else could. You know what I mean? And
a lot of these smaller leagues, you know, if you speak to them, their job is to groom these dudes so they could get on URL.
Right.
So to get them bigger.
And we need those leagues. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that all of these guys come from out of thin air. I had to have seen them from somewhere. But, you know, these leagues they work in a certain capacity. This is just like MMA or boxing. You know, you can fight in smaller leagues till you reach the UFC. You know what I'm saying? URL is the UFC of battle rap. You know what I mean? So we need the smaller leagues to help find talent that we can pay attention to and focus on. And even when they come in the door here, you know, their views may start at a certain level, but we spend time putting them out, bringing them around, showing their faces, and really getting them established and putting them in front of the right people and giving them the right looks. So it all adds up to something new and something different. You know what I'm saying? We've developed a lot of guys, and we've taken guys maybe that were in other leagues that were ignored and brought them here and developed them into bigger stars. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. You know, I've heard people say, oh, well, in the beginning you took these guys from Grind Time. You know, you'll see somebody write that in the beginning. Yeah, the guys that I took from Grind Time was Cortez, DNA, Soul Khan, and we used Hollow the Don. Now, without excluding Hollow the Don, all of those guys were ignored. They were in what was called Grind Time New York. Okay? And Grind Time New York was looked down on. Grind Time New York couldn't even get their guys to battle the Grind Time West Coast guys, who were Awkwards, Disaster, Thesaurus. Those were the stars of that genre of battle rap culture. They couldn't get matches with those guys. They were neglected. When they came here, a year later, they were main eventing over there. You know what I'm saying? So people forget that a lot of those times they weren't being paid. You know, they were looked at as lower tier guys. You know what I'm saying? We saw their talent and we felt that their style fit what we were doing. So we incorporated them into what we were doing. But they were not high up guys, high viewed guys, high ranking guys, high profile guys within the organization that they were. So it's different if we went after Thesaurus, Disaster, Awkwards, and brought them to URL because they weren't developed.
So basically, you didn't take the stars of those leagues. You took the other guys who that
were being ignored, the guys that weren't being paid, and helped develop them and show that we can develop stars. And then we had our own stars, you know what I'm saying, that we developed over time. You know, you had your A-Verbs and Hitmans and Young Ills, and you know, these are all guys who were, you know, kind of known, but not really known to the level until they got to URL. You know what I mean? You got guys that come out of nowhere like Surf and Suge that nobody knew. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys that come from nowhere that nobody knew that we were able to develop over the years. So, you know, it all goes hand in hand. We all need each other at the end of the day. So I would definitely shout out to some of the smaller leagues that are doing their things, putting out action-packed content and building up stars. And you know, another misconception that people have is that when guys come to me, if you come from the Bullpen Battle League or you come from some league in the Midwest, Alpha League or whatever, you can still battle on your home league. I don't stop anyone from battling on their home league. If you see Chess, he still goes back to We Go Hard. You know what I mean? I don't prevent anyone from battling on where they came from, because I look at it as they're passing a star on to us to develop and bring to the next level. I don't want to pull their guy away from them. So they are free to go back to their home league and battle. But when they're in a contract with us, if we establish that kind of relationship with them, we just allow them to do their home league and URL. You know what I mean? That's kind of the structure of what we do. You know what I mean? And the guys that we do that for a number of reasons, because a lot of times when guys come into URL and they're new, they do a PG, and then before you know it, everyone's calling them, trying to book them and get them on these leagues, and then the guy thinks he can handle the work. He runs out in the world, he does a million battles, his quality starts to diminish, the fans aren't 100% sure if they like him yet, and then he doesn't really get a chance to fully develop, and then they kind of go sour on that particular guy, and they don't give him the same look and his profile diminishes, and then he's just like a journeyman who's just like stuck.
So to me, it sounds like you're saying that the new guys need to have patience in a sense.
Yes, your time will come, because you weren't getting these offers before you came here, and you were surviving, whether you had a job, whether you were just taking battles when you could. So if you're here, your time is coming. It will go. We've done it time after time. We've built numerous guys. I've seen them come and I've seen them go.
Well, what do you say to, like, you know, URL is the NBA of battle rap, you know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to make it to the league. Now we got a million dudes trying to make it, you know what I'm saying? there's a lot of, you know, battle raps become oversaturated with a lot of battlers and everything like that. What's the barometer to make it to the URL? Like, what does it take for these dudes to make it? Because, you know, because a lot of people saying this guy's still in my PG step, or this dude's still in my style, or they act like B Magic, or this is the new verb. Or, so what do you guys look at to say, you know what, this dude could make it to the URL? I know anybody could get a PG, but not everybody can stay.
I look at.
I get the plug, hit my niggas off. Cop a pistol case, I gotta get them off. Niggas like cuts, you let them sit too long. They scared, bump, cop the scope.
Performance. I look at stage presence. I look at how they conduct themselves outside of battles.
Hit them with the gra-da-da-da. The other side smoking la-da-da-da. Like da-da-da-da. So quit the bullshit. We play the sport on some bullshit. Say it with your chest and a full clip. And if you churchy, you can get hit in the pulpit. Cause fuck it, it's task force on the blah-da-da-da. We hitting punches in the spot, da da da. Feds rushing, we like ta da da da. You know this hustle, it can't stop, da da da. Won't stop, da da da. So bring the packs out. Caught the beam and black out. Like it's the first brick. Getting chips like the Bulls in '96. I fucked your bitch from the ta da da da. Got in the fit with the gla da da da. Trust you niggas don't want nah. It's 12 bottles in this spot.